Luke Worthington. Luke, welcome back to Studio B, man.
What's up, Luke?
Thanks. Glad to be here.
You are a
Just love being
team
with you guys.
captain.
Yep.
What did that mean to you, and what was your reaction to finding out that news?
I was really excited. People asked me those questions last night about being named team captain, and as I've kind of thought about it, I reflected on how little it really has to do with yourself, you know. So it's almost reflective of your missionary service. You just get to serve other people and help to find whatever issues you can resolve if there are any, and just help everyone feel comfortable. So
You're an assistant to the president, and the president's Dave Rose, something like that. So take it like you will. You won't have to do the actual work. You can hang out. No, I'm just kidding. Was that a Dave Rose named you, or was it a vote among the team? Sometimes it's one or the other.
it was a little bit of both. So
Gotcha.
Coach Rose wanted to see from the team what they thought, obviously, and then he makes the final call on pretty much everything. So.
Now, you're going to say it's awesome, but does it take you out of any pregame routine when you have to meet it with the refs in the court and you're like, oh, man, I was in the zone. Now I'm out of it.
Yeah, that 30-second meeting can be really distracting. really tough. No, it's good. It feels good to get up there and get to know the refs and smile at them and see if they'll give you some calls during the game.
Is that when you're brown-nosing a little bit before you're like, oh,
you got to
nice
try
shirt,
your
man.
yeah.
Wow, you got big muscles.
Yeah, exactly. Really fill that shirt out well, yeah.
Is that what you did? Is that the approach you took when you played basketball,
I was never a
Jared?
captain. I was never as good as Luke.
Yeah, while we're discussing this throughout the show, let's go ahead and ask you the sweater question as well. Is it okay to wear a Christmas sweater before Thanksgiving?
Absolutely.
Luke's on the yes train. Okay. I'm indifferent. I'm down the middle, but we've put it out to BYU Sports
The
Nation.
winter sweater. It's not a Christmas
And it's like a divisive subject. Like, people are pretty much 50-50 on this thing.
And you know, you're going to get a lot of hate, and that's okay.
I'm shocked by the hate.
Yeah. And it's aggressive too. But I wear sweaters a lot, so I feel like
Wisconsin guy.
yeah,
Sweater, yeah.
and I feel like if you cut Christmas sweaters into just a certain part of the year, then you're really going to restrict that freedom that you have
Yes.
to express yourself.
Let's
Do you
not restrict
go
freedom.
all in on Christmas music and decorations before Thanksgiving too?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not all in. If a Christmas song comes on before Thanksgiving, though, what am I supposed to do? Not enjoy it? I feel like there are people who turn it off because they've been taught since their youth that they can only listen to Christmas music from the night of Thanksgiving through Christmas Day. And then once that time is over, Christmas music is shut off. And I feel like that, I mean, Christ was still born, you know. Can't we celebrate him? Can't we celebrate him at any time of the year? Do we have to restrict that?
And, around here, we actually believe he was born in April.
Right.
So yeah, it's all weird. So after April 6th, it's cool to wear a Christmas sweater.
Oh,
That's what we
okay.
just learned.
New rule.
That's the philosophy we just came to.
Jerem's rule.
All right, let's talk about less important things like basketball. How much do you take away from an exhibition win like last night?
I think a lot, surprisingly. Obviously, it's, you know, a little lower level competition, but we were consistent, which you play these exhibition games to find out what kind of team you are, and that develops throughout the season. But I think even from Westminster to this game, it's hard to come out in the second half when you're already up by 30, 40 points, you know, and play consistently throughout the end of the game. And that's what we were able to do this game is be consistent and stay on top of our principles and have good habits. So
You concepted really well, I thought, last night.
thank you.
That's important.
In all three exhibitions, BYU as a team offensively shot over 50% and held the opponent under 40%. I imagine that Heath Schroyer enjoys those statistics very, very much. Why the consistency there, do you think?
That's something we've worked on for a long time. That's starting all the way back in June with our practices. I mean, it's a game of percentages, really, and it's a game of runs. So if you can make teams shoot harder shots over the course of a game, if you're shooting the higher percentage shots, you're going to win. And if the other team just makes too many tough shots to account for and they win the game, you just got to shake their hand and walk off the floor. But we're going to play this the smart way and take the best shots that we can and make them take the toughest shots possible.
Have you found kind of offensive freedom in fewer kind of sets versus the, quote, concepts in this offense? I'm not saying it's better or worse, but it's very different than what it was before your mission.
There's a lot more freedom. And Coach is saying it all the time, just play basketball. That's what Heath Schroyer would say. Just play basketball. and it makes things more comfortable on the floor. Everybody can take the right shot. People know when the shot's going up, as opposed to every time you come down the floor, think, what set are we in? Where do we have to go? It's much more fluid, so there's always somewhere to go.
Did you expect to be in a position to potentially start as the 5-man just 6 months off of your mission?
You know, when I found out that Eric would be taken off, I knew that there'd be pretty big, hole to fill.
Upgrade.
Yeah. So I was excited about the opportunity to contribute in any way that I could, and then when the season got closer and closer, I felt comfortable with those guys, and I felt like I was able to play at a high level. So
I know you were close with him, so when you found that out, please tell me that you gave him a hard time.
I think a lot of people gave him a hard time. So I just said,
add to that.
Love ya, do what's best for you, excited for you.
Left me.
But really, we're never going to be friends again.
Right, exactly.
Why'd you leave me? Why'd you play? Yeah, exactly. You started 21 games as a sophomore, so you know what it's like to come off the bench versus start. Is there a different mindset there?
I think for some people there can be, but like I said, and Coach said this just probably a week, 2 weeks ago. He doesn't really know what the starting lineup is going to be. I mean, you have changes all the time with guys like maybe Nick or different people who were in the starting lineup and have to take on different roles. And the best thing you can do is just contribute. Just be there, give your all every day, and be ready to play when your name's called. So whether that's from the start or in the middle of the game, you just got to be ready to go.
And it may be matchup based, right? Last night, Colorado College did not want Yoli Childs to get the ball inside, or you, or anybody. So there were a lot of open threes. It just kind of depends on the game, maybe, right?
Depends on the game, and the size. If you're playing a bigger team, you got to have bigger guys. Playing a smaller team, you play with smaller guys. And occasionally, you do something different. They have a bigger team, you play with smaller guys to put them at a disadvantage. So, it's going to be personnel, and I trust that our coaches will have the right guys on the floor when they're needed. So when
Zach Selya sits that first three and then another one, you're like, yeah, that was a good decision to start Zach. That was great, guys. Yeah, I'll come in. It worked.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. He's a gamer.
He really is.
You go to practice, and it's not like he's always making every single shot he takes, but then when he gets in the game, it seems like he is. So I don't really know what it is. He's just got a magic sense to him where once he gets in the game, he's just hitting them all. So it's good.
Okay, Luke Worthington with us of BYU basketball. Now, as a captain, what would you prefer that we call you? A power forward, a center? What
center?
What do you want to be called?
Yeah, make something funky up. I don't know. Power center.
A power center?
Power center.
Whatever, I don't care. Whatever you want to call me.
Center captain.
He's the PC, the power center.
Let's talk about your Wisconsin Badgers football team here for a sec. You grew up in Wisconsin. Did you like the Badgers growing up?
I always supported them.
You supported them?
Yeah, I didn't go full-blown Badger.
Yeah.
I'm a full-blown Packer, but
yes.
As far as the Badgers, I think they're a great organization and team, and
yes,
they do well in pretty much every sport. So
yeah, they're really good.
They're
okay, they're undefeated and they're getting some flack. Should they be considered for the college football playoff?
Wow.
Even though they haven't played a ranked team.
Wow, that's
bring the Mequon, Wisconsin perspective, Luke.
That's a loaded question right there. That's hard because I think people have been saying stuff about it. Georgia, Alabama. I mean, if they lose in the game, that should be like a play-in. It shouldn't be a play-in. Those teams are amazing. So it's hard to say that a Wisconsin team who hasn't played as good of a schedule to put them in there and butt out a team like Georgia or, Clemson. Or, those guys they scheduled that way, and I think if they win enough games, they deserve to be there. So
yeah,
it's just kind of a tough break.
Miami and Notre Dame will help things, and it's getting interesting. I'm excited.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's getting interesting.
Talking college football with Luke Worthington.
Yeah.
Well, he's the captain on the basketball team, so he's got to talk in a myriad of
I got no
subjects.
problem with
You
that.
played a lot of football in high school.
I did play a lot of football.
Had opportunities.
It's always good it's always good to reflect on the glory days.
Luke, great to have you with us, man. We look forward to Saturday night's season opener against Mississippi Valley State. Maybe you'll be the first man to score a bucket like you did against Long Beach State.
Yeah, I'm excited.
In the regular season.
That would be awesome.
I know there's a time crunch. Can I just give a quick shout out?
Yeah.
Shout out to just my family because they're the best and they're always there, So shout out to Dad, Mom, Spencer, Kelly,
Older
Abby.
brother that looks just like you.
Yeah, all of them. They all need a shout out because they're the the true MVPs. So
Okay.
love those guys.
The real MVPs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Absolutely. You've earned that right to shout out, Luke.
Yeah, appreciate it.
If you weren't a captain, I don't know if we would have let you do that.
Yeah.
But you're a captain, so we let you.
Yes.
We'll
So I got
also
that
give
in
you
there.
some BYU Sports Nation karma, so do with it as you please.
Okay.
Ah, yes, the Gregorian
The
chant.
motivation is
It's all
here.
there.
It's here. It's gonna
all there. Hey, if you want to talk Christmas sweaters or college football or BYU basketball, Luke Worthington is your